Good afternoon traders and welcome to TradesFX. It's Monday the 24th of June 2024 and as you can see by the clock here, the time has just turned 1:30 PM UK time. Traders, hope you're well, hope you're all having a good week. As you know, the markets are now open and a little bit of a different video I've got for you today. Not a trading video as such, but I just wanted to talk about a tool that I use quite a lot in my trading. Now, the reason I call it a tool is because it forms one part of my trading. It's not a trading system, but it forms part of a trading system. And I believe this particular tool is very, very powerful in my trading. Whether it's powerful in yours, I don't know, but it can be. Now, the tool that I'm talking about, traders, is Fibonacci. Now, you've probably heard many a guru online telling you that Fibonacci is a scam, Fibonacci does not work, Fibonacci is useless, how can you use Fibonacci in your trading? The fact remains is that Fibonacci, or the Fibonacci sequence of numbers, is prevalent in everything on this planet and probably the universe. Now, that's a bold claim, but I can't talk about the universe, can I? Because I'm not everywhere in the universe, but I can certainly talk about things that happen on this planet that seem to correlate with the Fibonacci sequence of numbers. And what I find that the Fibonacci sequence of numbers is very good at doing is it's very good at showing human behavior. For argument's sake, let's say for argument's sake, you took 1 million people, okay, and you applied the Fibonacci sequence of numbers to their lifestyles. I don't know what part of their lifestyles, but a high percentage of the time, the Fibonacci sequence of numbers is going to pinpoint something that human beings do, places that human beings go to, behaviors that human beings have, and it's going to isolate that and the Fibonacci, and it's going to happen around about a Fibonacci number. Now, why is that? Well, I believe that as human beings, we're generally the same. Generally being the important word there. Of course, there are differences. Of course, there are nuances, but generally speaking, human beings are the same. If you look at, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but if you look at a flock of sheep, for argument's sake, and as you know, as you can see by their behavior, generally speaking, those flock of sheep are the same. Now, of course, there are some rebels who will run off across the field. Of course, there's a sheep or two that will escape. But generally speaking, they flock together and they do similar things. And when I look at a nest of ants, I've studied this, guys. And generally speaking, the ants are all the same. They're doing the same sort of thing. Now, that's probably going to be just the reason they do that, I don't know. But if you look at them and you study them, generally speaking, they're doing the same thing and there is a goal, okay? And this is why I think what Fibonacci is good at, is it's good at highlighting the generalities of behavior, not just in the human kingdom, but I believe in nature. Well, it's not even I believe, the fact is there. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. I've talked for 3 minutes, introing. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So I'm here on the monthly chart of the Great British Pound Canadian dollar, okay? So it's a long-term chart. The data that I've got goes back to 1975, and as you can see, ends up here in 2026. So you can see that it's a big, long time frame view of the markets. Now, I like Fibonacci for these reasons. I just want to show you Fibonacci's, and I particularly like Fibonacci expansions and extensions, and I'm going to show you why I like them so much, because they help me in my trading. Are they exact? No. Do they work every time? No. But do they improve my system? Most definitely yes. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. First things first, I'm going to grab a Fibonacci expansion or expansion extension with this tool down here. Now, this tool does two things. It is an expansion tool and it's also an extension tool. Now look at this bar up here. And if you look down here, as I move along, you'll see the date change. So this high up here okay, was 3rd of November 1980. 3rd of November 1980, a long time ago. So if I take a swing from this high down to this low, and I then pull it up to the next point, and this becomes a Fibonacci expansion, nothing happens. But if I then take it up to this high, Fibonacci extension, look at what happens, traders. Here we are where the low was made in January 85, and look at where the market pushed into in September 2022. Now, from my point of view, this could well be the low of this market, because this was the low over here. And there's something else I want to explain to you in a moment, but I just want to finish what I'm talking about here with the low. Because this is such a long range chart, or such a high time frame chart, this could well indeed be the low. Isn't it amazing how price has pushed after all of these decades and found a low in here and been rejected years, decades later? Why is that? All I've done is took a line, drawn it from the top to the bottom, and why is it that you've got this massive pin bar rejection down in this area? Now, I don't know if this is the low, but if I start to look at the fundamentals compared with where this is, it could well be the low. I believe it is. Now, disclaimer here, traders, I don't want you to take my view. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not qualified to be a financial advisor, but I'm just here talking about my method of trading. I don't want you to take trades that I do, but if you're interested in learning about the way I trade, then I'm here for you. But guys, in just that one move alone, can you see? And okay, this is a long-term chart, so you're not going to trade this on a long-term, on a day trading basis. But if you're an investor, this chart, this is very important to you. This level is very important to you. And price has gone through all of these shenanigans, over centuries. No, not centuries, over decades, sorry. And then all of a sudden, bam. Bam. And then price gets rejected violently. Now, could this be this? Could be. But let me move on, traders, because I've already been talking 8 minutes and we haven't got anywhere yet. All right, let's have a look. What about, okay, so we've took a swing of that. Let's look into this level, this same leg here, which I've taken the swing of. What if I went in there and I took the swing from this high down into this level of congestion here? Can you see that? And then I did another Fibonacci expansion. Can you see that, traders? So let's say price was here and I'd taken, or price was somewhere in here and I'd taken this level. Look at where that comes in. Look at where that Fibonacci expansion comes in. Price goes, let me just fatten this up for you. Now, price pushes into the zone between the one equal legs 127, and you get a pin bar on a monthly time frame. It's phenomenal. And then price trades up. Beautiful. Okay, let's continue. Let's get rid of that. I want to get rid of that one. Remove that. Okay, what else is there? Let me just have a look in here. Is there anything here? I often like to do a 1, 2, 3 count of chart. In fact, let's go over here. I don't know what's going on over here, but let's just have a look here. So if I go up to there, I can see there's nothing there. All right, but let's have a look at this. What if I pull it all the way down here and then I do a template? Is there a 1618? No, there's nothing in the 1618 fib extension. But is there anything in 1618 fib expansion? Nothing in the 1618 fib expansion. Let's get rid of it. Let's go back down to a 127 fib extension, and there's nothing there. So it's okay, because this is going to happen quite a lot of the time. When I say there's nothing there, is that actually correct? Because remember, we're on a monthly chart. Remember, we're here on a monthly chart, okay? And price did react in there, didn't it? In that zone. So I wrote it off too quickly. Let's get rid of that. And I just wanted to take my time with you, traders, because obviously Fibonacci works on all time frames. You can use Fibonacci on all time frames. I'm just here showing you the different examples of how it can work for you. What about this? Does this do anything? I don't know. Let's have a look. Well, wouldn't you know it? From this swing to this swing and back up in Fibonacci expansion, price ends up right at our low. It's beautiful. You can't make this up, traders. So don't tell me that Fibonacci doesn't work. You've just got to know how and where you're going to apply Fibonacci. How about this? What about from this low up to this high and back down in? Now there's nothing there if I leave it there, but wow. How about that? Phenomenal, isn't it? Phenomenal, isn't it? And this is how I identify turning points throughout my trading. Let's just fatten it up a bit more and let's just see if there's any more. I'm sure there is. How about if I got this level here and pull this up in here? Look at that, traders. There are pips in these moves. There are hundreds and hundreds and over term, thousands and thousands of pips. Look at that. Okay, this is a monthly chart. But this, if you'd used a Fibonacci expansion to try and identify where this leg was going to end, okay, and look how accurate that is. You could have been, if you're some kind of really long-term investor, remember we're on a monthly chart, you could have taken part in 4,000 odd pips. That's the beauty of this Fibonacci. Now, yes, it's difficult. Yes, it takes practice, but yes, it's learnable. What else is there? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I don't want to go, what's we done? 13 minutes. I'm going to try and keep it a bit brief now. What else is there in here? What if I went from here to here, back down in? Well, well, well. Look at that up there. So traders, if I was you, I'd start to have a look at Fibonacci, because I do believe Fibonacci can be beneficial for you. It certainly is beneficial for me. Okay. In a system, not standalone, it's certainly beneficial. And I'm hoping, let me just have a look at something else here. I just wanted to, what about if I took a Fibonacci retracement? I went from this high down to this low. Well, well, well. Price gets up to the 67.8, which isn't a well-known Fibonacci retracement, but it's one that I use to create a zone between that and the 618. But look how well it works. It works there, it works there, some congestion in there. Then we have the 786. Now, with Fibonacci, I'm never looking for it to turn on a dime just because I've hit a Fibonacci line. A Fibonacci for me is a sit up and take notice warning. Something may happen at this level. Sit up and take notice, be patient, and see what happens. What else is there? What about on to the downside? Let's have a look. What are they called? No, nothing there really. Nothing there really. But if I put it up to a... Well, I can't say that, can I? Because look, this level here, this level in here ended there, didn't it? Even though it was part of a bigger downtrend, this was a turning point for this swing. Fibonacci extension. Again, if you were an investor and you got involved somewhere down here, you know, there's 3,000 pips there. So hopefully, traders, you can see the benefit of what I'm talking about. Now, I'm going to shoot a video about my thoughts on this this GBP CAD, because I do believe there is some potential. Again, traders, my videos aren't trading advice such. They're not investment advice. They're me showing you how I trade. So please don't use my trade. Please don't take any of the trades that I say in advance. Most of my trades are shot because they're longer term trades. By the time I get to upload the video, the trade has already played out anyway. Well, I hope you enjoy that, traders. Come and leave a like, press on the bell icon, tell me what you think of the video. Thank you, traders.